Hello, my Gen X friends. There's my dog, Coco, in the background. Um, I saw a really interesting TikTok yesterday, and it was saying that it was by another Gen Xer. She's a really, really funny content creator, has a pretty big following, and she was saying that she felt that all of the videos that go out, all the TikToks and the reels making fun of mom life, like talking about how chaotic it is, like we always look like shit, we got the messy bun and the yoga pants, and we're always tired. People are bugging the shit out of us. We're always yelling at everybody or hiding in the closet, that we were scaring the younger generations from having kids because it's being shown, or studies show, who the hell knows, that childbirth is on the decline and divorces are on the incline and marriages are on the decline. And I thought, well, that's really an interesting theory about that. And I'm sure part of it was just for a joke because she's a comedy creator, so to be funny. But honestly, I thought about that for a second, and I'm like, I don't think that's a bad thing, do you? I think it's not so much social media. I mean, yeah, the younger generations are hardcore into it. There may be some influence there, but I would venture to say that, like with anything else, what you learn starts at home or starts in your immediate world. So, guess what? The younger generations watched us, and probably our parents and our grandparents. They watched all of us go through some serious shit. And I don't even think it's necessarily about childbirth. Yes, all women should have the right, or younger people in general should have the right to make a choice whether or not becoming a parent is right for them. That's a huge decision. And I do think Gen X was part of the reason why the light's being shined on this whole kind of bullshit package that was sold to all of us and programmed deep into us about the American dream. Like, you had to grow up and then get married, have two kids and the picket fence and the house and blah. And it's kind of like, that's not really how it should work. Now, I get it that some of you might have religious beliefs around all of this and think that it's necessary or it should happen in a certain way. But I'm going to say that we're now in an age where freedom of choice is getting to be a really big deal. And so with that freedom of choice, if people are out there and they want freedom to choose, they want to stay free, we're America, then you should be able to choose what the hell you want to do with your life. We are probably, as Gen X, the last generation that was really pressured into getting married soon and having kids quickly. Like, that was just the right thing to do. You just assumed. That's what you were supposed to do. That was the end goal. I remember graduating with girls who went to colleges that were specifically designed for women to meet a husband. So, like, this was ingrained. But I think deep down we knew that there was something fundamentally wrong with that. Number one, for me, is that when you're 18, you have no idea who the fuck you're going to be when you're an adult. I mean, I'm certainly not the same person that I was when I was 18. And if I made major life choices like that at 18, I don't know. It was probably better off that I sat back and I waited and got to know myself more. And I don't even think I did that enough. Honestly, I probably could have done the self-discovery journey even more. Now, if you're marrying your high school sweetheart and you just know because you know, then rock on. Okay, we're not making blanket statements. There's always exceptions. But the younger generations are seeing marriages fall apart. I think in our parents' generation and our generation, marriages fall apart because people just really weren't meant for each other, or at least not for the long term, because you might have had disagreements about things like finances, child rearing, education, healthcare. Like, your value systems are completely different, and that doesn't go well in a marriage. Or you didn't feel like it was a true partnership, because that's the key to having any lasting marriage, is you need to feel like you're true partners and what that means for you. And then I think there's the emotional piece where they really watched us as parents, or some of our grandparents, struggle with being deeply connected in relationships. Like, I think the younger generations want actual, authentic, deeply connected, loving relationships, not just we're getting married for convenience, we're getting married because we have to, we're getting married because it's expected of us. I know that, our grandparents, great-grandparents, great-greats, they lived in a totally different world, right? And even the Bible, if people are going to come at me with the Bible says, like, well, in biblical times, marriage had a completely different objective. Like, it was a matter of survival to our ancestors. Like, they had to get married and have kids and reproduce to keep the family lineages going, because you never knew when there might be an illness or a famine or a severe weather that would wipe out a portion of the family. You never knew if you needed to maybe join together with another family for the purpose of owning land or whatever, for money. Like, this was survival, people. Now we're not in that time anymore. So it truly is about love and affection and connection. And so I am actually applauding the younger generations for hesitating before making this choice. And if they don't want to make it at all, that's okay too. I'm not afraid of, population decline or whatever, or it's, we're going against some cardinal rule, because I would rather see a world where human beings are truly happy and fulfilled and raising healthy children. Those who choose to have children are raising healthier children because they themselves are emotionally healthier, which is what they saw us go through, right? We talked about this in Latchkey Kid video. Like, we had a lot of work to do in relationships. And I think we got into relationships oftentimes for the wrong reasons, and even marriages for the wrong reasons, or because we didn't know ourselves well enough to know exactly who we were compatible with. And I think someone said in the comments on one of my videos that a lot of Gen Xers are emotionally stunted, and so were our parents, boomers or silent generations. And I think that's absolutely true. Again, not a blanket statement on everybody, but yep, I think we lacked some emotional intelligence, which makes it really hard to have a fulfilling, lasting relationship. Other than purpose. Some people stayed together for purpose. So they rationalized it, and we learned to love each other because we had to. But who the fuck wants to live like that? So we now are finally, at least Gen X, I think, we're getting more aware, self-aware, and on the healing journey where we're healing our own emotional wounds. Because when you come together as a wounded person with another wounded person, then it often just exacerbates. It becomes codependent. It just exacerbates the wounds. It can be a very toxic relationship, and that doesn't last. And I'm not saying that we aren't wounded people. Everybody has some kind of trauma, whether it's big trauma, littler trauma, we all do. So we all have to work on our shit. And we can absolutely come to a relationship without being totally healed. And the couple can grow together, which I think is ideal. But when you're not sure of who the fuck you are, or you were so sucked into this idea of the American dream that you just up and went and got married and had kids without maybe pursuing some of your own thoughts and dreams and desires, you can end up feeling resentful and burnt out later on. And that doesn't help us be good parents either. That doesn't help our children learn anything positive from us. Yes, you can still do things while you have children. You can still pursue things. But, I think it benefits people to really live their best life or live their own lives, figure themselves out before they have children. Do I think having children is an amazing decision if it's right for you? Yeah, I'm a mom of 4 and I love my children with all my heart and soul. They were actually the ones that were inspirational to me and so helpful for me on my journey of emotional healing, because I felt like I needed to show up and be a better person for them. So I needed to figure myself out. Kids have a great way, and same with relationships, romantic, of throwing the mirror right up at you. But we still have a long way to go. I mean, right now there's a trend on social media about, the women and the bear, and what would women choose? The man or the bear, and they choose the bear. Let's not forget our younger generations are seeing these videos too. And in the comments, just women saying, and some men saying too, that relationships suck. Women are like this, men are like that. And all this fighting just needs to stop. We all need healing on this. Men too. And this is not men bashing. I know there have been times when women have been threatened and maybe some unfair gender roles or expectations, but men need support too. They need a healthy role model or idea of what it is to be a man in this world. So I say we support each other, but applaud the younger generations for taking the time to really stand up for themselves. What do y'all think? Let's talk about it.